Conor McGregor is an Irish mixed martial arts superstar. His wild antics, both inside the ring and out, have captivated audiences all over the world, with his fortune and fame growing to unimaginable heights. The man from Ireland recently made another big announcement. No, not another whiskey endeavor, although he did make a pretty penny when he and his business partner sold their majority stake in their Irish whiskey Proper No. 12, a delicious beverage for anybody of proper drinking age, if I do say so myself. The big announcement he's referring to is in regards to a new Netflix documentary. On April 25th, he posted the news to his Twitter account. The tweet read, "You heard it here first, my brand new documentary series called McGregor Forever." He goes on to say it's the only place to hear his real story. It's no secret that Conor has already released a documentary. The first release was in 2017 and was called Conor McGregor Notorious. Overall, the filmmakers did an incredible job, and the documentary was a success. It covered everything, from his difficult upbringing and the need to claim welfare benefits to get by, to when he first started fighting to combat bullying back in Dublin, right up to the point when he became the first ever double champion by winning 2 different weight classes. Just an extraordinary accomplishment by the Dublin boy. Only a handful of fighters have been able to duplicate this feat. The accomplishment first started in July of 2015. Conor was able to get a technical knockout on Chad Mendes in the second round of their thrilling fight. Both guys were able to inflict a great deal of damage to each other. Mendes scored numerous takedowns and had blood flowing from Conor's face. But Conor withstood the ground grapple, and the fighters eventually got back to their feet. The round was just about to expire when things took an ugly turn. McGregor mutilated Mendes with a furious combination of strikes. The win gave the Irishman his first interim featherweight title.
Listen to this place.
Oh, big shots by McGregor.
10 seconds.
Oh, he's hurt.
It's all over.
Wow.
This next match was already being set up. It would be between Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo for the rights to be the undisputed UFC featherweight champion. At this point, the two men kicked off a 12-day world tour as a promotion for the upcoming event. Stops included both fighters' home countries, Ireland and Brazil. At one point, Aldo suffered a rib fracture, and the event was pushed back to December 12th. At the weigh-in, both men met the weight limit of 145 pounds, and everything was a go. It took Conor a whopping 13 seconds to knock out his adversary with a dramatic left hook. This was an enormous win. He now had his eyes set for the lightweight division in order to become the dual champion that he's always wanted to be.
Jose Aldo Jr.
Conor relaxed and smiling.
Oh!
He slapped him!
Conor McGregor is the new UFC featherweight champion of the world!
It would make him the first ever 2-weight world champion. It was only a matter of time, and he finally got that opportunity in March of 2016. He was scheduled to fight Nate Diaz, a scrappy fighter from Stockton, California. Diaz is a former UFC lightweight champion. This was not going to be an easy fight for Conor, and it didn't go well. Diaz was able to perform a rear naked choke and force Conor to tap out.
Diaz gets the mount! My goodness! Now he's got the back!
That's it! He's got the choke!
Nate Diaz!
He's out!
He has done it! It is all over! Nate!
McGregor was quick to applaud his opponent. The good gesture paid off. Lucky for him, he got a chance at a rematch by the end of the year. This time, the brawl went differently for McGregor. The two gladiators were duking it out by the final bell. It was Conor who was awarded the majority victory after the two men went the distance. This hard-fought win gave McGregor the right to fight Eddie Alvarez for a chance at becoming the first ever 2-weight champion. The event was UFC 205. Alvarez was dropped by McGregor multiple times before finally being TKO'd in the second round, leaving Conor as the first ever 2-weight champion in the history of the UFC. The new documentary featuring Notorious is going to be different from his previous one. In the newest documentary, from what he revealed to the public on Twitter, it will at least partially cover the gruesome broken leg he suffered in July 2021 against Dustin Poirier. Unfortunately for McGregor, that fight was their rubber match. Their first fight was on September 27, 2014. It was McGregor who got the TKO in one round. The combatants were standing toe-to-toe, exchanging furious flying fists. That's when McGregor caught Poirier with a left hook that turned the lights out on Dustin. He fell to the ground, and Conor made sure the light switch was broken before the ref jumped in and broke up the fight.
Right in front.
He's talking to him.
Oh, yeah. Hands in his hips. Conversation. Looking to finish the fight.
That's it.
It is
It's over.
all over. Just like that.
They next fought again at UFC 257. It was about 6 years later. Poirier came into this fight looking for sweet revenge. And revenge is exactly what he found. He was able to knock out the Irishman in the second round. The men were exchanging left and right haymakers. Dustin's meat pounders were a little too quick. He dismantled the Irishman, who was left seeing stars. After the fight, when the ref went to hold up the arm of the victorious Poirier and declare him the winner, Dustin displayed a strong show of sportsmanship. He was quick to point out to the crowd that the rivalry was all square at one win apiece. Needless to say, a rematch was looming on the horizon. The fans didn't have to wait long before the match was set up. The third fight would take place on July 10, 2021, a much quicker turnaround time than we saw between the first two fights. Devastatingly, this is where things all fall apart for Conor McGregor. Dustin Poirier no doubt had the upper hand in the first round.
To his feet. Oh! McGregor covers up towards the end of the round. 1 second to go in the round. Wow!
Notorious was on his backside for most of the first round. Then, just before the bell rang to signal the end of the round, that's when the unthinkable happened. In the trailer for his documentary, the viewers catch a nasty glimpse of Conor's leg breaking in slow motion. He broke both his left fibula and tibia bones. Some of his thoughts are shared in the documentary after the injury occurred. He thought his career was over, scared that it would turn him into a different person. His biggest fear was that everything he fought so hard for would be taken from him, just like that, gone. He could be seen talking to the camera from his hospital bed, wearing a Johnny gown and eating some strange-looking hospital food. McGregor still hasn't been able to fight since the incident. He continues to rehab from the horrific injury. In addition to his documentary that's set to air in May, Notorious is also featured on an ESPN show, The Ultimate Fighter Season 31. That starts on May 30th, 2023. Ironically enough, it's just a few weeks after McGregor Forever is released. Conor and Michael Chandler are the two squad coaches in the 31st edition of the show. The two veteran fighters will be the coaches of a younger generation of tough guys. Each is looking to become the next big name in martial arts. Cleverly, Chandler and McGregor will also be fighting later this year in a pay-per-view event. This will be Conor's first fight since the horrible broken bones he suffered. The date has not yet been set, but speculation is we can expect some action sometime around September or October. Also worth mentioning, McGregor is starting to dabble in Hollywood studios. He's acting alongside movie star Jake Gyllenhaal. The movie is a remake of an old classic called Roadhouse, a 1989 film starring Patrick Swayze. With two shows set to air later this month, The Ultimate Fighter and his documentary, McGregor Forever, as well as his star role in a Hollywood movie, there is no doubt Conor McGregor will be a popular man in 2023. His documentary is a surefire bet to be massively successful. We wish Conor all the best in the final stages of his recovery. We cannot wait to see him back in the ring and on the big screen.